If you dedicated all the time that you've spent on your phone this last year to doing something that you love, how much more fulfilled would your life be? Since the invention of the smartphone, people use their free time in increasingly wasteful ways. If you could commit to spending less time on your smartphone and dedicating that valuable resource to something that ultimately gives you skills or knowledge, your life could ultimately be more fulfilling. People have strayed away from learning new hobbies and skills as their time gets taken up by this new device. Firstly, it's important to understand that having a constant entertainment can lead to isolation. And if you are isolated, you can't join a community of like-minded people that may inspire you to do different things. In the book Smartphones, Constant Companions, author Shireen Walton states, in short, how and to what extent people shape their lives around smartphones encapsulates multiple issues, including addiction. If people become addicted to their devices, they don't look for gratification through other means, and without boredom, they don't search for fulfillment. If people, when bored, resort to their phones, they will never spend time exploring the things that they may love. In a research article titled Smartphone Addiction, Daily Interruptions, and Self-Reported Activity, authors Duke and Montag state a greater amount of leisure time spent on the smartphone was strongly related to a negative impact on daily non-work related activities, meaning that people have decreased efficiency in all things just by being addicted to their smartphones. Since the smartphone, we have also seen a dramatic shift in the amount of time that people are spending outside. Smartphones have already made people less active and thus are hurting the health of a younger generation. Before the time of screens, people search for fulfillment outside. Things like exercise, being outside, or engaging in sports are becoming less common. In a journal article called the Smartphone Psychology Manifesto, author Jeffrey Miller states, if psychology had no history, what research methods would we use for gathering behavioral data? I think we would use smartphones. Before smartphones, when you wanted to talk to someone, you would just go and meet them. With smartphones, people are engaging less with one another, and in the research article Dependency on Smartphone Use and its Association with Anxiety in Korea, author Kyung-Eun Lee states smartphone dependency appeared to be associated with anxiety. If people are anxious, then they're not only nervous to meet people, but they're going to isolate and shut themselves inside. Smartphones are a relatively new thing for people to own, and it's hurting the younger population the most. The age demographics of smartphone users over time is constantly decreasing, which throws these bad habits onto a young and susceptible population. Bad habits started at a young age can often lead to a lifestyle or a way of living. In the book Age and Smartphones, author Daniel Miller states, a group such as the Italian second-generation youth are simultaneously developing their relationship to their smartphones and to their wider identity. If kids learn that their smartphones is a way to achieve instant gratification, then they'll never learn otherwise. Older generations grew up in a time before smartphones and already know how to survive without them. It is up to the people growing up now and the parents of a future generation to teach these future generations how to find fulfillment outside of the screen. Kids right now are being damaged by the smartphone becoming mainstream, and that needs to change. People need to spend less time on their phones and spend that resource on valuable hobbies. The health of people is at risk since smartphones have created a stay-at-home and sheltered lifestyle, and kids are at younger and younger ages being introduced to smartphones, which is unhealthy as they learn to rely on them. Smartphones have created a negative impact on generations, creating unhealthy habits in their lives. I don't aim for the ban of smartphones as they've been an important leap in technological advancement in society, but I hope that as a society, we can learn to reshape how we use them to create healthy and balanced relationships that is needed with all things.